Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 game show cheaters caught red-handed. On game shows, the stakes are high. One wrong answer and you could lose thousands, sometimes even millions of dollars. So here are people who decided to cheat the system to win game show prizes. Before we get into it, be sure not to cheat on top 10s by subscribing and pressing the notification bell. Coming in at number 10 we have Coffin Up. In 2001 in the UK, a man named Charles Ingram won Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. However, on the show Charles seemed to be kind of dopey, so people were shocked that he won. It didn't take long before Charles and his wife Diana, who was in the audience, was put under investigation by ITV, who broadcast the show, and the cops. They looked at the footage and found a pattern. Every time the host read the correct answer, Charles' wife Diana would cough. This indicated what Charles should say, which is how he won the £1 million cash prize. They were later taken to court and found guilty of cheating and stealing prize money. The couple later declared bankruptcy in 2004. Next up is Psychological Millionaire. Some cheating is kind of shady and bad, but this is an example of some pretty skillful and impressive cheating. In 2014, 19-year-old Khalid El Kateni appeared on Millionaire Hot Seat, which is the Australian version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Despite not even finishing university yet, he won a grand total of $100,000. After the show aired, he was interviewed about his win. In the interview, he admitted he didn't win thanks to knowledge or studying. Instead, all Khalid did was study the body language of the host. He simply noticed the patterns of what the host did when reading out the right answer. He also looked at the faces of the audience members when the correct answer was read. So this guy may not be a genius when it comes to general knowledge, but he does appear to be a body language genius. After the interview, many complained and said the money should be taken back, but he did get to keep the cash. Do you think the money should have been taken back, or did Khalid win fair and square? Next up we have Shazam. Want to cheat on a game show? There's an app for that. At least that's what Adriana Abnea thought in 2014 when she was a contestant on the Spanish show Pasapalabra. That translates into passwords, because on the show you have to crack codes and solve challenges. One segment of the show is called Name That Tune, where a song is played and you have to say its name and who sings it. The audience was amazed, as Adriana didn't do great on the rest of the show but did seem to be a musical genius, as she got every song right. However, when all eyes were on her, it didn't take long before the audience noticed she kept looking down at her phone. It soon turned out she was using the app Shazam, which can use your phone's microphone to tell you what song's playing to get the right answers. The audience laughed, but the show's producers were not happy and Adriana was kicked out. Next up is water weight. Neil Tejwani was the winner of The Biggest Loser 4, but how did he do it? Well, it was found out that he had botched his own weigh-in by drinking 2 gallons of water beforehand. This made him gain 17 pounds, which of course he lost easily as it was all water weight. This meant his team was able to vote off a contestant from the other team. Viewers were angry about this and many called for Neil to be disqualified. However, the show's producers disagreed, as he had still technically lost the weight. But for those annoyed fans, things didn't get any better, as Neil went on to be crowned champion of the season for losing the most weight. Next up is Binge Watcher. One man from the USA named Terry Kness watched the show Price is Right every single day for 7 years without missing one episode. You may think that this would be a colossal waste of time, but don't be so quick to judge. You see, Terry began noticing patterns in the prices of items on the show. After trying to get on the show since 2001, in 2008 he finally made it on and stunned everyone during the showroom showdown. An item that cost $23,743 was up, and Terry guessed the price exactly. The crowd went wild, and it was only until later that Terry admitted he'd simply used his knowledge of price patterns in the show to get it right. Some called him a big cheat and said he should give back his prize money, but the show's producers disagreed and Terry was able to keep the cash. So next time your parents complain about you binge watching top 10s videos, remind them of this story. Next up is Helping Hand. This is probably one of the oldest cases of game show cheating being exposed. A man named Herb Steimple had been competing in game shows all his life, but in 1956 appeared on the show 21. He turned out to know pretty much everything and remained champion of the show for 6 weeks straight. Thanks to this, it got boring and ratings dropped, and the producers got annoyed. Every week they would bring a genius in to try and dethrone Herb, but it never worked. In the end, to save ratings, they simply told him he got a right answer wrong to get him off the show. This caused the cheater to become champion instead, which boosted ratings as it was somebody new. However, once the American public learned the show was filled with lies and Herb was kicked off for just being too good, they were furious. And in 1958, the show came to an end after the massive scandal was exposed. Next up is Pressing His Luck. In 1984, Michael Larson from the USA appeared on the show Press Your Luck. He won the top prize of $110,000, but how exactly did he do this? Well, if he's on this list, it wasn't the regular way. You see, Michael watched reruns of the show on his VCR and was able to play the game while pausing the show. This allowed him to create a formula for pressing the squares when it came to the big day when he was on the show. He played the game over 350 times without messing up and simply rewound his VCR over and over again. At first, when the show's producers figured out Michael had done this, they refused to pay pay him his prize money. However, in the end they decided to pay up, as Michael threatened legal action otherwise. Do you think Michael was just being smart, or did he steal $110,000 from this game show? Let me know what you think in the comments. And check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the biggest game show cheat. On a lighter note, be sure to check out my second channel, The Crafty. There'll be a video of mind-blowing life hacks on screen now, so check it out. But as always, thank you for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.